Lewis, and I am
This meeting is being recorded.
And I am Hippie Girl Collection. Hippie Girl Collection was kind of invented over the pandemic. I had gotten a little laser tabletop laser to do some crafting with or whatever, and I started posting things on social media and started getting a lot of attention, and it just kind of grew from there, and it's grown exponentially, and I'm really blessed to have my small business. I just recently opened up a storefront. It's 1600 West Market Street, right by the fairgrounds and West York High School. We're open on the weekends, Thursday through Sunday. All that's on my website. So hopefully y'all like what you see and what you're doing, and like me enough after this that you can follow me on social media, come into the store and do some shopping. I do custom orders, and I mostly work with wood. Every time you purchase with me, I plant a tree, hence the hippie girl part. I'm also a gypsy girl. I love tie-dye and like all that crazy macrame, and like, I don't know, I'm kind of an old soul in that way too. So yeah, so if you have any questions, concerns, whatever, as we're going, feel free to just spit it out. I like interacting, so the better we interact, the less you will hear from me. So, and if you need to interrupt me for questions, do it, no problem. So I want to know first, does anyone have any questions or like missing pieces, or like, did your kits come all in one piece? Anything broken, like anything that you want to bring to my attention? Thumbs up all the way around. Everything looks hunky-dory. Awesome sauce.
All good.
Oh, go ahead. So I'm going to be a little bit different than you guys because I'm going to do my clock in reds and whites for Valentine's Day, because I'm actually going to try to resell my clock in the store. And I have these really cool red hands that I want to try out. So we're going to kind of guinea pig it. Speaking of clock hands, I want you all to know that we're all not going to have the same clock hands, because I get so they're all assorted. So I just got yours assorted. If you hate your hands for whatever reason and you feel like they don't match, or whatever the case may be, you may stop in the store. We can swap them out. You can stop at Hobby Lobby. They're like $4. Like, if there is a way to get better clock hands, I would say. Okay, so, and my daughter's joining me today because she never saw me do this. So she's making me a little nervous over here, watching me a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna start with this guy. Everybody have this guy? And you can open up your paints and use your little palettes if you want to squirt each color on your little palette there. So everything that you have in your kit, it came from my machine. I cut out these, I cut out the pallets, I cut out your little wrenches, I engraved the little wrenches. So that's just a really nice example. This is a really cool example of what my machine and I can do together. So, yeah, so I'm a big believer in art is your thing. I'm just here to guide you, and I want you to make this your own. You don't have to do exactly as I say or do, and you can do exactly as I say I do. We're all here to have fun. So this is going to be your number one piece. And in my opinion, I like this one to be a darker color. Make your dark brown, or you can mix your brown with your blue and make something dark. So this one should be, if you want, your darker color. Now I have done it where I make this the lighter color, so that when you put the numbers on top of it, it kind of brings out the numbers. But to be honest with you, either way, dark, light, light, dark, you're going to be able to see the numbers really well. So this is just your What do you do? Whatever you want. So I'm gonna do white is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do like a red pattern where you guys are doing your browns and I'm gonna do like red and white. You're gonna do brown and blue. Does that make sense? Following? Thumbs up? Okay.
So I got 2 sets that have numbers in it, which I don't know if it'll really matter, but just so you know.
Oh. So you don't, so
I don't have a
Valerie,
plain one.
you don't have this.
No, I have 2 with numbers.
Oh.
I mean, I think it'll still work out, but I just wanted to let you know.
I want you to let me know. I appreciate that. And I want you to come into the store and get one of these.
Okay.
But if you,
I mean, I think it'll look
Yes.
fine.
I want you to, it will, like if you put it on, like if you have like a dark wall, I think it would be fine.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna hate it, but if you really want, no. So it'll be up to you what you think. Like towards the end, be like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. In the meantime, Miss Valerie, you can paint your numbers to your liking. Yeah.
Okay.
There's always one, I tell you. Always one. You know, if you ever come to our workshops in the store, Valerie, I might have to put you at the trouble table. There's always one. Oh, are you? Okay. If you want to take a look at your first one that we're painting here too, there's like a number 1, like at the bottom here. I don't know if you can see that little 1 that's popping at the bottom. That's just my guide to you to say that's our bottom. So when we start lining things up, you know. Not really. Welcome back, Sue.
Thank you.
On the bottom piece that we're doing now, you don't have to be very careful. Like you don't really have to go to the, well, you can go to the edges, but as far as like going into the center, you don't have to be very careful with that. I'm making it just kind of like, I'm going to take it to the edges, but I'm not really going to take it to the center just for time and whatever. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Okay. Oh, I think I'm gonna really like this. I do have a picture in the instructions of what your clock should look like for a little bit of a guide for you. So I'm gonna move on to my number plate. And I'm gonna go with red. Sorry, I have a little wonky. Did everybody have a nice holiday and all that jazz? Do we have New Year's resolutions that we're working on? Drinking? No. What's all that mumbo jumbo, huh?
Yeah.
So when we start getting into doing these more intricate pieces, you're gonna find that the paint wants to go into the little cracks and crevices, and that's okay. You don't want that to happen, but it's okay if it does. You can take your little Q-tips and you can clean them out that way. Or I sometimes like to turn my head away from the computer and I blow through the hole, and then that will help clear the paint.
So in the picture, is the number plate more left natural?
That's what I was wondering.
To-
What color do we
That way.
paint that?
So what color did you paint your base?
The
Brown.
brown.
Okay, so yes, I would recommend doing white. You can leave it plain if you want to, if you want to just skip over it altogether. You have your vanilla there for that. You can paint it white, you can leave it there, whatever you want to do. You can paint it blue, you can go brown again. You can go mix some of your vanilla with your brown and make like a mocha, I don't know. Hey, Belle, can you grab my other clock from the wall, please?
Yeah, I was a little confused too, because it looked in the picture, it looked like the number piece was just natural. But I understand you could paint it white.
Yep. If you want it to be more bold, paint it. If you want it to be more natural because you live in a cabin or something, you know, leave it there. The clock. You can't be wrong in art, so they say. But in the living room. I forgot you don't live here all the time. What are you doing? Ah, you scared me. Sí, señorita, thank you. Gracias. So, for example, I did another one because it was around New Year's, so I was feeling sparkly. So here's, you know, another.
It's cool.
And I did white on the number plate there. So if that helps you decide, you know, what you want to do.
We just do one coat of paint.
I mean, what do you think?
Well, the brown piece I did, number 5, looks kind of light, but I don't know if that's gonna show, will it? The face will be over top of it, or most of it.
Correct. So you're not gonna have too much of it showing. It's more of like just the edges that are gonna show. So, you know, in your opinion, what do you know?
All right.
Yeah. Use your best judgment. I also paint the back of mine, like this guy. I mean, that's completely up to you too. So it depends if, like, is it gonna be hanging on your wall all the time and you're never gonna see it? Or are you giving it as a gift? And you know, or myself, like I'm gonna resale, so I'm gonna finish the back of it. So there's some options for you to decide on as well. And if you do want to paint the back, I would suggest probably doing that as sooner rather than later. So you have enough dry time. We have dogs and kids this evening in the DeLewis household. Might be a little different than normal. A little louder over here today. Hey, can you give me some? Oh, Shiloh was supposed to do that earlier and he didn't. Yeah, and again, that, yeah. So I have some exciting news. We have lots of new vendors. I don't really do vendors. I do more wholesale, like I buy from people in the local area. And then I just sell it for a cost or whatever in my store just to get those people recognized. So if you know anyone or you yourself are interested in having some of your artwork displayed in my store, I'd be more than willing to meet with you and talk with you about that. Also, I just found out that we're going to be getting a stained glass girl in our store. So she'll be doing stained glass workshops. How cool is that? So we're working on that. Look for that in the spring.
Stained
I
glass
thought that was
sounds really
pretty
cool.
It's something that I've never always wanted to do. And I'm really looking forward to spending more time with them and learning something new.
Amber, you said your shop's on West Market, right?
It's on West Philadelphia Street.
West Philadelphia.
Are you familiar with Latuca's?
Yep.
So I'm like behind Latuca's, in
Oh.
between Market Street and Philadelphia Street.
Gotcha. Okay.
Does that help?
Yep, totally. What days are you open?
I am open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 6, and on Sundays from 10 to 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking. I just moved in November, so we got to have Christmas there, which was really cool. Santa came and the whole works. It's a really nice area of town too. I'm not really a West North girl. I'm more of like a Hellam, Wrightsville, East Side, closer to the river girl. So this whole West Side is different for me. Like and my boyfriend, he graduated from West York. So like when he heard me talking about it to other people, he just thought I was ridiculous. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's by the fairgrounds. He's like, you're not really by the fairgrounds. But I am. You have to get fair permit parking. So to me, that's close to the fair, right? We just got natural loofahs in. This guy in York County grows loofahs, and I've never done this. Has anyone ever used a natural loofah?
No.
Oh,
Mhm.
I highly recommend it for numerous reasons. It's biodegradable, so there's that, so less plastic instead of your regular loofahs. And honest to God, it's way softer than I thought they would be, but it's like exfoliating, but it's better for the environment all the way around. Yeah, we have those now, which is cool. I won't ever use a fake one again, I don't think. They're pretty cool. They even still have the seeds in them. So you could like buy one and then go grow your own loofahs. And they last like a year. Never thought of growing my own loofah. The things you learn. Okay, guys. So I'm pretty much kind of okay here with my face. How's everybody's faces look? Let me see your face.
Not done.
Hey, look at you. Okay, moving on to number 2, 3, 4, here we go.
I think the blue is probably gonna need the second layer because I can see spots. So that's okay. We can let it dry and then always come back to it and do it again.
So if you guys I don't think we're gonna have enough time to like really get into the nitty gritty of things, and I'm probably gonna rush along a little bit since we only do have the hour. I am told that the instructions that came with your kits are really, really simple to follow. So if for whatever reason you guys feel like you're falling behind or something, just don't feel that way. You do have the instructions, and we do have this recorded, so you can refer back to this as well. So like if I'm moving too fast or you're moving too fast or whatever, like just we work at our own pace, and that's okay. Okay. What should I do with red and green? Orange. Oh, I could do like fiery sunset. Oh, I might do that. I think I'm going to. I'm going to do my next one orange. I'm feeling a little fiery today. I don't understand what happened over there. But that's not. I think this one's already like what she needs. Do like half of one. You know what I mean? You're not paying attention. You're ridiculous. Oh wait, hold on. Hey, leave it. This one's gonna get a little hairy. Where's everybody from? I'm curious because I saw a lot of boxes like not in the area.
I'm Ephrata.
Okay.
Myerstown,
Myerstown. That's up north. Is that right?
east of Lebanon.
Okay. Okay.
Mechanics.
right by the store, aren't we?
Yeah. We're
Where
actually
are you
really
guys,
close.
Debbie?
We're on the west side of York City, so we're actually really close to you.
Oh,
Because we're
right
on,
on. Okay,
so not far.
good. Annette?
I'm in Mechanicsburg.
Oh, you're not too far from my home.
Where's your home?
I'm in North Dover.
Oh, yeah, it's a little ways from there yet, but it's that direction.
Yeah, I like to shop in Mechanicsburg versus York.
Okay.
Valerie, are you a Yorkian?
I'm from York, but I live in Carlisle.
Oh, okay, so you're like there. Okay, cool. All over. Love it. Love it. I'd say everybody else, but I don't see your little faces.
Oh, Spring Grove.
Oh, okay. You're close to the store.
Uh-oh.
For little pieces that didn't like punch out, what would you recommend using to punch them out?
I'm so glad you brought that up. So so what has, okay, let me get my thoughts together. Okay, so you might not be able to, I will be honest. So what happens in woodworking is you have wood that comes from trees that has knots in it, whether that be plywood or a plank of wood, lumber, you're gonna get knots. So what happens in these is in between the ply, I have knots. No one can see these knots until they go to cut out. The laser can't cut through a knot for whatever reason. I mean, I can cut through sheet metal, but I can't cut through a knot. So we have found that the easiest-ish way is to either A, just put up with it. B, you can take like your X-Acto knife and carefully try to go around the edges and make, or if you really want to get into it, you can go on the back of them, and where that grouping is probably where the knot is, and you can go on the back and you can stand it down the whole way to the knot to make that knot a little bit weaker. And then you can take your X-Acto knife and you can work at it and punch them through. That was the long version. I hope it helps.
I used
gonna go
an
with-
ice pick.
That would work, but we're gonna go with version A because it makes it unique. We're just gonna leave
I mean-
it like it is.
Yeah. And now and I think it's cool. Like I'm a knot lover. Like when I go to the lumber yard and I'm picking pieces for projects or whatever, I love looking at the knots and incorporating them into whatever piece I'm doing. So it's kind of, to me, it's kind of cool to know that, hey, that's a knot. But it's also really annoying when you're in manufacturing like I am and people expect what they expect. So,
Yep.
but
We're
I also
fine
was
with it
told-
as it is.
very good. I appreciate that. My woodworking mentor told me that if people want perfection, to not use wood. So, so that's, it comes from nature. Nothing's ever the same. If you want perfection, do not use wood. I'm really glad you brought that up. That was one of my things that I wanted to talk about, because especially when I get into these more intricate pieces, it really does sometimes become a headache. And I have to decide, okay, is this waste or is this, like is it unique? So I'm glad you brought that up. All right, y'all. I don't think I am going to be able to get through all my pieces really quickly because I really want to get to how to put the clock mechanism together. It's not really that hard or complicated or anything, but there are a couple of things that I want to kind of just touch. You guys are all finished. If you would like, no pressure. I would really like to see your finished products in their glory. So if you want to shoot me a picture through Messenger or post it to the Hippie Girl Collection Facebook page, that would be fabulous. These clocks were really, really awesome. Oh, Christine. So you know how like you go to those paint and board places and whatever, and then you have like a group shot of everybody's finished product? Like, is that something we could like do sort of kind of like if everybody enters their photo of their project to you, can you like do like a follow-up and be like, hey, this is what we did at our last workshop? Or is that like a, I mean, it doesn't have to be like, I don't know what I'm asking. Help me out. You're muted. Okay.
So we send out like the follow-up email that has the link for us to watch the like playback of what you're doing right now. Is that what you want us to like attach that, or you want us to ask in that email for a final project picture? And then we can make a collage.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can include that when we send this out tomorrow.
I just say, like, just asking. That'd be cool. Like, I never really get to see too many people's after, you know, I send 50 of these out. Like, I'd like to see what everybody does, what you come up with. Like, I just like seeing that, you know?
Of course.
Yeah.
Someday when we
Hey.
have the in-person classes, we'll take a big group shot.
Right. Yes. All 50 of you have to come in a group.
I like it.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of skip ahead to clock mechanism. So you got like a little rubber jobby, a little cylinder of black rubber in your kit. This guy, okay, we don't need him. That's just something that comes in the kits. And because of the thickness of our particular clock, we don't really need him. Okay, so just whatever with him. And I'll go like kind of really slow, and I'll watch you guys, watch me, watch you, watch, you know, we'll do this kind of thing together. Who here is messy? Woo! Woo! Okay, so okay, so when you go to put them together, it's kind of elementary. This one, and then your clock, and make sure you put the glue on here and not your colored side. So all your glue is gonna go on your unfinished side, and then you're gonna
Okay.
stack them one on top of another, largest to smallest, okay? And usually I would go through this with you, but I feel like, yeah, gosh, an hour goes fast. Okay, so I'm gonna do that a while. And I'm not gonna glue, I'm just gonna put them together so I can show you guys how to do the top part. Like I said, when you go to glue it together, you watch for your one to be at the bottom. And then you can line everything lines up correctly. Like there's not really a wrong way to do it, I don't think. Like, and you can always refer back to your photo. But as long as your hole lines up with, like, that's pretty much what you got going on. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. So when all that's glued and said and done, this is going to be your first piece for the back. Clear my area a little bit here. And I'm going to bring you closer to me. I can kind of put this down. Okay. So we're gonna, oh, hold on.
Your hook.
Yeah, this is what happens when I ask my daughter to help me. Okay, so pretend I have my hook in. So you're gonna put your circle around here and your triangle is gonna come up here. Does that make sense?
Like this.
Let me see that, Sue. Yep. So you want to make sure that that triangle is coming out from the box so you're able to hang it from the wall.
Right. And then your battery is on the bottom of the back.
You got it, girl. You got it. Okay, well, I'm really done. In February, we're doing another workshop. It's already been out and about. I think there's only a few more kits left, if I'm not mistaken. 16, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's for February. Oh, gosh, I had it in my head and it just left. February 16th, we're doing the heart workshop, the heart tree. And actually, I have a sample of that in the store. So if you're not really sure if you want to do it, you can come check that out in the store before you make a final decision. Okay. Okay. All right, going back down. Here we go. Clutch mechanism. Your spirals are gonna go the whole way through the holes. It's a little tough. It's a little like you have to force it, but don't like force it. And I don't know, without this being glued, I might have a little bit more problems, but make it work. Okay, we're gonna pretend that all that's glued together. And then we're just gonna make sure it's secure and it's in, and you have about 3 threads coming up out of the top here so that you can put your washer and your nut on it. So your washer. So once this is through securely, we're gonna go washer, nut. And I just kind of finger tighten it, but I do suggest that you take your little wrench made by Hippie Girl Collection. I like drew that, guys. I'm so proud of that freaking little wrench. Just saying. That thing is so awesome. Like, you will not find that anywhere else in the world. I'm telling you.
I don't have a wrench.
Oh no! Who doesn't have a wrench?
Me, Annette. It's all right. I have something I can use, I'm sure, but I don't have your little design.
Well, that really makes me sad. But you can certainly just, if you can, you can just finger, like, you can just finger tighten it. You know, like, it's nice to have something like maybe needle nose pliers to make it tight, like, but it doesn't have to be crazy tight. Okay. And then we're gonna do your hour hand, so it'll be the shorter of them all. And you kind of can't mess this up either, because if you tried to do the minute hand, it won't fit. Like, it won't. So your hour hand, and you kind of push it down until you can't. Don't be forceful, but you'll know, it'll kind of click. And then your minute hand. And then your second hand. I do not have a second hand. Apparently this one, see, assorted. This is what happens when you have assorted.
For now, and see how it looks once you're done the white, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. No. Okay, there we go. Little click. And then your minute hand should be a little bit above your hour hand, so they can pass through one another, right? And then your second hand, some people have a second hand and some people just have like a little pin. A little pin. Or your second hand is your pin. Okay, so your second hand, my pin, is going to go directly in the center where that little, it's just going to go in. So, okay, so one more time. So we're gonna put your hardware on the back. Here, one more time. Oh gosh, I got that pretty tight. Okay, one more time. So we're gonna do, I should probably tell you, Joe, make sure your hardware is facing 12 o'clock, not 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Make sure your hanger guy is facing 12 o'clock. Okay, so you'll have to make sure that's doing that. Okay, then push this guy, push your box through your holes until they click. So you have a few threads coming out of your clock. You're going to do your washer.
Not the metal washer or the rubber washer?
We do not need the rubber washer at all.
Oh, okay.
And so your metal one, and then your nut. Tighten that to the best of your ability. Then you're going to do your hour hand. Till it clicks, like that. And it's okay if you bend it while you're kind of, while you're maneuvering things, because you can bend back. And then your minute hand till it clicks. And then your pin or your second hand goes dead in the center. And you put your battery in and you make sure it works. And then if it doesn't work, chances are you might have a bendy thing going on where, like, something's not quite accurate with your hands, or like maybe this hand is bent into this one, that could happen, or you put the battery in the wrong way. I did that, guilty. Does that help?
Yes.
Is everyone still painting?
Yes.
Jenna's like in zone mode over there. She's barely
Yeah.
looked up at me.
I'm in it.
We're ready for, we're gluing.
Oh, look at you, Blue. Oh, I love it.
We are gluing.
Yes. Gluing. Oh, good. You're gluing. Yay. So when you're gluing and you have some gnarly glue coming through your holes, you can use your Q-tips or your paintbrush to kind of get that goop going on. The glue does dry relatively clear, but some people are weird about their glue boogies, so you just have to wipe them up. Yes, glue boogies, Chevy. Oh, I'm really in it. Huh? Where? Oh, okay. Art. That's what we do.
I like the glue boogies term.
It kind of just came out one day and it stuck. Oh, look at that. Good timing. Oh, there's the other Amber. I didn't. Hi, other Amber. Everybody doing good? Can I get a big thumbs up? Any questions, concerns? I have about 10 minutes to kind of spare. If do you have questions about your craft, what I do? Thanks. Love emojis. We're going to be doing some tree planting. I just partnered up with Pennsylvania Parks and Forest Foundation. So my proceeds go to them. Now we switched it over. We were doing onetreeplanted.org. Now we're working more locally with Pennsylvania Parks and Forest Foundation. We're going to be planting trees in the spring with them. So if any of you want to, you know, kind of tag along for that, please subscribe to my website and we'll get you on the mailing list for all that kind of information. Upcoming workshops, where we're going to be on site. We're going to do a couple of shows. I'm going to do my first chainsaw carving show this year. So that's I'm pretty excited about that. I hope to get some scraps off of these guys and make my own art. But yeah, so we're gonna be there. So you know, if you wanna check me out and subscribe, Instagram, Facebook, even dabbling with TikTok a little bit.
What
Thanks,
does
my
the
daughter.
laser cutout machine look like?
Oh, okay. Very good question. So I have internet quite weird. Ooh, okay. So I live in like BFE, so everything's wonky up here. I will take you for a little tour. Okay. See.
Can't hear you.
Oh no. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, so I won't walk that far away. So there she is. I call her my boss because it really is a boss lady. A Boss Laser is the brand. It's a 1420, which means that the table is 14 inches by 20 inches. It runs off of a CO2 tube, which I have to be very careful about temperature with that. It doesn't like to be too hot, too cold. It can be a little frigid, but it doesn't really like that. And it definitely doesn't like being over like 70 degrees either. So it's a pretty cool, kind of an electronics nerd. So that's how I got into this. Like, I'm a hairstylist by trade, believe it or not. Yeah. And pandemic happened and they shut everything down, and especially hair studios. So I had to figure out what else I needed to do with my life. So I was already dabbling with a tabletop laser, and I was, like I said before at the beginning, I was getting a lot of attention, and I made an investment, and thank God I did. Like, honest to God, thank God I did. So yeah, she's great. She's completely filthy right now, but that's what the inside looks like. And then I hook up my laptop, and then my laptop tells her what to do and how to do it, and pretty cool. It's really cool in a nerdy kind of way. And then I have all my wood. So this is my workshop. I was gonna do this at the store, but I was really hungry and I just wanted to be home. It was a long day. And a little less interruptions. Sometimes I get interruptions at the store because I'm right beside a hair studio. Believe it or not, the irony. Do you see it? Do you see it? So the hair studio sometimes interrupts my my Zoom classes just because of noise or whatever. So anyway, so thanks for asking. I do like showing off. Kind of how I got started in the workshops. I would have everybody come out and I would show off the machine and do a demonstration on the machine, and we would hang out in the garage and do snacks and workshops and stuff like that. But you know, our favorite friend COVID showed up and made changes. So here we are. And I'm grateful for it. Some changes are meant to be, right?
Yes.
And my clock, speaking of clocks. Did everybody do their clock in 8th grade at school? This is my 8th grade. This is my 8th grade clock. But I revamped it and I brought it home and I took the face off and I put it on the machine. And so I engraved my face on it. I redid some of the gluing and I sanded and I refinished it. So that's one of my prize.
Wow.
Put glass in it. Different.
That's really cool.
Thank you, Sil. Are we good?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is everybody come see me this weekend?
We go into markets on Saturday. We might drop by. We'll be in the neighborhood.
Yeah, totally. Stop in. Sometimes I'm there. I also have a helper, Stephanie. So if I'm not there, Stephanie is there. Tomorrow I will be there for most of the morning. Saturday is questionable and Sunday is questionable. But Saturday and Sunday are my huge production days. I try to bang out as much as I can during the weekend because I have kids, family, whatever. So I try to do a lot more on the weekend so I can hang out with them and attend to school and dinners and whatever. You get it.
Well, thank you very much. It was this beautiful. I'm just waiting for it to really completely dry before I put it all together. But
Sure.
the instructions were really, really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yes.
So thanks.
Thank you. Ours is glued. We're just waiting for it to dry before I assemble the mechanism.
Awesome sauce.
It looks beautiful. The wife loves it. So Happy wife, happy
Yes.
life.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. It looks great. I've got some pieces drying with some weight on them and it'll be good. Thank you.
Mhm. Always awesome.
What'd you say?
I said, always awesome.
Always awesome. Thanks.
Well, if everybody's
Okay,
all
guys.
set, we can wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah, anything else, guys?
Nope. but
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram. Come see me at the store, 1600 West Philadelphia Street, York.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you. Be safe and be
Philadelphia,
well.
Planet